What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Monday, July 17th edition of the MLB Sims video. We're back from the All-Star break. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And we have a 10-game MLB slate tonight. We're going to take a walk through the MLB Sims Tool, looking at DraftKings, taking a look at what's showing up as some of the best approaches we can take to tonight's slate early on in the day. Now, keep in mind that this stuff is going to change as we get lineups released, ownership projections change, all of that stuff. If you want to use this tool for your own, there is a link below the video on YouTube. I'll also drop a link below the video on Twitter. So wherever you're watching it, you can sign up there. We have weekly and monthly options available, whichever you prefer. You'll be able to use this tool with your own lineups, and whatever your baseline is at DFS, you should improve and see improvements quickly if you sign up. So, again, everybody has different baselines, but wherever you're at right now, this tool will make you better. Sign up using the link below if you're looking to do so, and you'll be able to take advantage of everything I'm about to show you. So to start off, I made 2,000 lineups in Fantasy Cruncher. They are all 5-2 stacks, as you can see right here. Uploaded them. Also used my own projections. To do that, you just select the Use Custom Projections tab, download the template, upload your projections. But if you don't want to do that, you can also just use the Stokastic projections. Just don't check this tab, and that's perfectly fine as well. So we're going to walk through what is showing up right now. There's some surprising stuff, some stuff that makes a lot of sense. So here you can sort by simulated ROI. So that's what I did. And then over here, you can see the individual lineups. So first, we'll take a look at how some of those are looking. The main thing that stands out to me at first glance is that we don't have a lot of concentration on any one particular stack. If you look in the stat column here, the team on the left is the 5-man, the team on the right is the 2-man. Yankees at the top, Kansas City, St. Louis, Cubs, Tampa, Kansas City, Yankees, St. Louis, Washington, San Francisco, Cleveland. So this isn't looking like a slate where we're just jamming in a couple of offenses that really stand out above everybody else. You see that a lot on Coors Field slates. You see it on slates where maybe a team like the Dodgers has a 6.5 implied run total, and everybody else is at 4.5 or 5. But that's not how tonight's slate looks. A lot of the teams on tonight's slate have similar implied run totals, so we do see the stacks being more spread out here. Looking at some individual lineups just to sort of see how they're constructed. In the first one here, we have the Yankees and the Cardinals. Logan Gilbert, the most popular pitcher on the slate. Jordan Lyles is not the most popular pitcher on the slate, but he is cheap. He's not getting ownership. He is somebody that is actually showing up in a lot of these lineups. It's the type of thing that is likely to change by the time we get to lock, but with the way things look right now, going to a low-owned Lyles is actually showing up as a positive play, even though he is a very bad pitcher. He does have a favorable matchup tonight against the Tigers, but they still have a 5 implied run total against him. But his role in this lineup is basically to just be a cheap contrarian play. It gets us to the number 1 pitcher on the slate in Gilbert. And then we get some quality bats here with Contreras, Goldschmidt, Torres, Ramirez, Volpe, Stanton, Bader, McKinney. So we're taking the Yankees in Anaheim, in Los Angeles. Good hitters parked there, and we're getting to good Yankees. Torres, Stanton, the guys you want to get to most. Bader, Volpe, both fine as well. And then McKinney is cheap and has some upside. The 2-man stack is a high upside, relatively expensive one with Contreras and Goldschmidt. And then we have the very high upside one-off in Jose Ramirez. So you can see where Jordan Lyles is coming into play there. Next, we have a Kansas City and Angels stack. Again, Jordan Lyles shows up with Logan Webb as the SP1. Webb is expensive. He is pitching in Cincinnati. So it's a scary spot given the park, but still a good pitcher. Kansas City is cheap. They're actually in a pretty good spot tonight against Matt Manning. Salvador Perez may or may not play tonight. Right now, he's in the projected lineup that I used. So this is another perfect example of something that could certainly change later on because he did leave yesterday's game early. But Perez, Witt, Garcia, Lopez, Melendez, not the most exciting stack, but you do, in this case, get Perez and Witt and then some cheap value. But you also get Shohei Ohtani, who's in a phenomenal spot against Luis Severino. You get Taylor Ward, who's a high upside bat. And then the Paul Goldschmidt one-off looks really good as well. Next, we have a St. Louis 5-man. Again, an Angels 2-man. The Angels 2-man here is Ohtani and Ward again. So no problems again with those guys. Griffin Canning and Mackenzie Gore. So here we're taking a more balanced approach on pitching. Instead of paying up to the top, we're taking I believe, $7,900 Gore and an $8,200 Canning. They are both in relatively risky spots, but they both also have plenty of strikeout upside. Gore actually has the second highest strikeout percentage on the slate. Then we're getting to Contreras, Donovan, Arenado, Walker, and Carlson. We have a Bobby Witt Jr. one-off at shortstop as well. So a nice high upside shortstop one-off there. Now to look at where we're getting with individual player exposures, we can sort by the simulated ROI like we already had, select the top 150, and look at the exposures here, starting with individual players. Logan Gilbert, 45%, pretty much in line with his projected ownership, and no issues with that. He does stand out as the best pitching option today. Mackenzie Gore coming in the second highest owned. We are projected to be quite a bit over the field on him, and it makes sense. Like I mentioned a second ago, 28.1% strikeout percentage is the second highest on the slate this season. Pitching is not great tonight. There are some decent arms, but most of them are in dangerous matchups, and you don't have true aces on the slate. Again, Gore, the second best strikeout percentage, also a sub 4 xFIP. So a good pitcher here, not projected for a ton of ownership, and we're projected to get quite a bit more than that. Then you get into some bats. Again, starting to come in around the 30% mark. That's typically a good sign for how things worked. Bobby Witt Jr., shortstop, high upside, relatively inexpensive at 4,600. Ramirez, always going to be one of your highest upside third base options. They're the two highest owned hitters. You get into some more Canning, Lyles. Now we're getting Jimenez, Perez, so Cleveland, KC. Wilmer Flores, a good value option. Shohei Ohtani, a fantastic play. So the hitter exposures look pretty good here at the top. If we sort by pitchers to see if anything stands out there, Jordan Lyles, I had kind of already alluded to, certainly stands out, showing up in 24% of lineups. Now, again, this is the kind of play that right now it is showing up as a positive play because of what else it allows you to get into lineups. Once lineups get released, a lot of times you're going to see this type of player sort of disappear because you're going to get unexpected value, cheap hitters in good spots in the batting order that we're not projecting right now. And that's going to make the need for a cheap Jordan Lyles, who isn't very good, a lot less. But right now he is showing up as a good contrarian play given the value he offers and what he's going to allow you to get into the rest of your lineups. We're going a bit under the field right now on Gray. You can see that over here. Quite a bit under on Nick Pivetta, which, again, this is why you see that's the trade-off here. Like, we're getting over the field on Gore, who is 7,900. We're getting over the field on Canning, who is 8,200. We're getting over on a cheap Lyles. So Nick Pivetta, who is projected for around 27% ownership, we're not getting to as much of him. Basically, the idea here would be that he's just not worth that much more ownership than these other pieces that you can get to that give you similar upside and are a lot lower owned. And then going that route, going to these pitchers from in the context of a full lineup, it's allowing you to get to the good bats that you want, really, regardless of how popular they are, because you've made your pivots at pitcher already. Now, to round things out and look at the 5-man stack exposures, Cleveland at the top, Kansas City second, San Francisco third. Nothing really surprising there. Guardians are in a pretty solid spot. We saw Jose Ramirez showing up a lot. Kansas City actually looks good tonight. You know, they're a team that I frequently get to anyway, but a pretty good matchup against Manning. You like getting to Witt. Again, the 5-man stack exposure certainly could come down if Salvador Perez ends up missing tonight's game because he's a very valuable piece of that lineup. San Francisco has the highest implied run total on the slate. They're in a good spot against Williamson in Cincinnati. Yankees, decent matchup against Canning, but good ballpark in Anaheim. The Tigers are in a good spot against Lyles. So everything at the top here makes sense. So that's our early look through the lineups using the MLB Sims tool. Again, if you want to use this tool for yourself, improve your DFS game, check out the link below this video. Also give the video a thumbs up. That helps us out quite a bit. Thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck tonight.